SaveWithConrad.com.
My name is Mike Garner. I am a top guy with ad-free shows. I am currently living in Charlotte, North Carolina. Moved here from Arizona. Like everybody else, we shopped around for mortgages, trying to get the best deal. One of the things I wanted to do was give my buddy Conrad a shot. So I reached out to him and told him I was interested in going through the process. The team at Save with Conrad was awesome. There was a lot of communication. They were very quick to respond. They were very quick to listen to, what we needed, the complexities of selling our home with buying a new home. So it was absolutely fantastic. We felt comfortable using the team. We closed on time. The paperwork was hard to get to us. So they made sure that they sent those overnight. So there was no delays. I've tried to recommend Conrad and his team, Save with Conrad, to other people that were either looking for new mortgages or looking for ways to refi or, just trying to get on a better financial footing, because he often says that he doesn't say no. He says, maybe not right now. My name is Mike Garner, top guy with ad-free shows. Save with Conrad. Help me and my family get into our dream home.
Available lesson number 212, non-equal housing lender. SaveWithConrad.com.
Hey, DJ Turnup, how you doing, bud?
I'm here.
You're here. Well, DJ Turnup is here. He is with us, and his bonus podcast here in December is going to talk about Ric Flair and Blackjack Mulligan and that great angle that is the source of my fandom during my childhood in the Virginias and the Carolinas that we are going to talk about in just a second. But before we do, DJ, your ass sounds worn out from DJing, and so tell me how things are going for you right now.
It's financially it's going amazing.
Right.
But yeah. So we had me and my business partner DJ Tanaka. We had an event on Saturday, which went till 4 a.m. and so. That kind of kicked my butt, even though it's Monday.
Right.
But yeah, so I had all day yesterday to rest, so that was good. And so today I have about, at the time of recording, I have about 6 hours to get ready for the next one.
Yep.
And then the next day after that, I have to be back at the shoe show, as Conrad likes to talk about it. And then right after that, I have to be where is that? Oh, karaoke. So yeah, it's just a lot, and that's all on Christmas Eve. So
you are going to a shoe show, so to speak, and work that on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a good question. Without even really, you don't have to give an opinion, but what type of clientele comes to a shoe show on Christmas Eve?
Tony. Man, these are the questions that need to be answered. Yeah. I am very intrigued to see who comes in this door Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the ones that don't have family.
I would think so. Yeah, right.
One that's trying to give back to the community. These women are, have families and all that stuff too. Yeah. So they have to get the gifts and all that stuff for their kids. So
yeah. Come on in and watch the women dance on the pole. Bring the kids. Santa will be here. He'll be naked too.
Ironically enough, there is a customer in there that's named Santa. They call him Santa. Oh, that's actually hilarious that you put that in there.
Well, I guess he's taking a break from delivering all the toys. Go in and throw a few back and take a look at some beautiful women.
Right.
All right. So now let's talk about this. It's Blackjack Mulligan, Ric Flair. You sent us the link, which is, by the way, it is on the notes and the show notes here. So you go click on it here on our page and just watch matches. And you wanted to see this because you've heard me talk about it so much.
So, yeah. So here's the thing. We do these bonus podcasts and you guys say, hey, let's pick something that you guys want to see and hear and all that stuff. And okay, so I'm gonna give y'all a little backstory. The way I listen to you guys' podcast is very weird.
Okay.
So I don't listen to them by the way that it's I don't listen to them like how like it's like, hey, new podcast coming out next week. I listen to them in order by the way of the event is. So let's just hypothetically say like, I don't know, the WCW Nitro. So as of right now, I'm in like 2001. I'm in like 2001, like in order.
Wow.
So yeah, so it's funny listening to it that way because there are times where like Conrad will be like, man, this guy fucking sucks. And then like the next episode, it'll be like, oh yeah, I just met this guy yesterday. He's a great guy. I love him. So it's very interesting listening to it that way.
Right.
So I've listened to a couple of episodes like 4, 5, 6, 7 times. And yeah, the Blackjack Mulligan and the Ric Flair is always brought up. And I remember I feel like you say that like there's no way you can watch it because, you know, it's some of the stuff is like what's the word? It's
doesn't age.
Well, I think you guys, yeah, well, of age, but you said it's also
Hey,
I can't think of the word. You guys, I think you got like recorded over or something like that.
Yes,
like,
yes, that's what happened. What happened was they would send the tapes out back then to all the television stations. Television stations would send it back to Crockett Promotions, all the syndicated stations, after they aired it, and the Crockett's would reuse the tape, and they would record over it, send it back again. So we've talked to there's a good friend of mine, Dick Bourne, who runs the Mid-Atlantic Gateway website. At least he did at one time. And he and I talked because he was a big fan, same time. And these tapes do not exist of the angle as it happened on television. But what you have found out for us is some matches between Flair and Blackjack, not necessarily one-on-one, but when they were in a tag team against each other or a 6-man against each other. We have found, thanks to you, some of the matches from the arenas, which are good video, and it's great to watch. So we appreciate you doing that.
So basically, So what I was trying to get at was that everybody always picks something that they want to do, and I hear you talk about Blackjack Mulligan and Ric Flair a lot. I'm like, you know what? Let's pick something from Tony's, you know, so we can actually, you know. So hypothetically, like these are like, do you remember some of these arena shows?
Oh yeah, I was at one of these arena shows.
Wow,
how about that?
That's cool. That's
cool. I sure was. So listen, I all of a sudden it hits me now. You know, you're listening to our podcast. We started in 2017. You're listening to it now, the year 2021. And since that time, DJ, I have cleaned up my language tremendously. And you go back in the countdowns that you provide for us. Very well done, by the way. You go back and relive the moments to where Conrad forced me to use bad language. I understand what's going on now, but I just want you to know, once you get into the 2024 podcast, you're going to think, wow, Schiavone doesn't really cuss anymore. And only thing I can say to that is, you're motherfucking right. I don't cuss anymore. So anyway, a couple of things. We appreciate you being with us as always. You're a good fella. And if I ever have want to come to a shoe show, I'll look you up. And who knows when I'm going to get kicked out of this house. So maybe that'll work. But we appreciate you, buddy, and also appreciate all the efforts you put into the countdowns. They are very entertaining. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Tony. Appreciate you for putting up with my shenanigans.
Yeah. Merry Christmas, DJ. Turn up and let's take a look and a listen to Blackjack Mulligan and Ric Flair for some great house shows back in the 70s.
Conrad's on the TV, on your PC, even on your phone. Come and take a ride down Funky Five, y'all, on Hood. Or should I say, real Spody, Bodie Cribs. Coming this week on Hood.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With a little bonus action all up in that ass from Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
I am okay, Conrad, and I'm really, really excited about this bonus podcast because this really hits me in the old fandom, so to speak. This one is from, DJ Turnup.
What?
Well, the hell with that guy. No, DJ Turnup wanted to see this.
Oh, great.
And he said, I love to hear how giddy Tony gets when he talks about his fandom, and he talks about how this is one of his favorite rivalries, and I would like to know more info on it. Ric Flair, Blackjack Mulligan from the 70s. How about that?
A lot of people say this is the biggest and best feud in the history of Mid-Atlantic. I know when I talked to my buddy Dick Bourne, who used to run the Mid-Atlantic Gateway, the archives are still up there right now at midatlanticgateway.com. I highly recommend you check it out if you haven't already. He tells me this was it for him, man. This was great stuff. I mean, he's got a whole series of articles over there about the hat and the robe. Mm-hmm. Check it out at midatlanticgateway.com.
He's right, and I feel the same way. Dick Bourne and I were fans at the same time, and I grew up in Virginia, and so I was really into this. And Dick and I talked recently. I don't know, maybe it may have been a year. You know how time gets by. Those are the Beagles, by the way, in the back playing. Anyway, so we talk about this a lot. And I asked Dick, I said, you know, the angle was so well done, and it was done on Mid-Atlantic television. Have you found it? And he said, no. And I said, what about contacting some of the stations that used to get the television show? Maybe they'll still have a copy. You know, the idea was we send you the tape, you send us next week's tape, the Bicycle Theory, right? And we record over it and send it back to you. So unfortunately, apparently, the actual angle between Flair and Blackjack, the hat and the robe, as we say, is no longer around. And Dick Bourne has looked for it a lot. So that's unfortunate, but it still lives in our memory.
No doubt about it. And we're excited to watch this one. I'll be honest, I've never seen this footage, and I don't know how much of this you've seen, Tony, but you got to live this in your fandom. And the idea that we get to go back and take a look at this together, it's got me pretty fired up, man. I'm looking forward to this.
I don't think there's anything from, we got 47 minutes of footage here. I don't think there's anything from the studios. I think this is all from the arenas when Jim Crockett Promotions used to go out and get the footage, you know, from the arenas. And then if they needed to, they would show part of the angle on TV. So the angle involved, the angle basically was Blackjack Mulligan turning babyface. And he became the biggest babyface in the territory, so to speak. And it involved Blackjack, Flair, the Masked Superstar, and Baron von Raschke was involved in it as well. So that's what we got here, and so we're going to watch some of this. Thank you, DJ Turnup. And I got great news for you, DJ. I'm not going to do rap. How about that, you son of a bitch? No, I'm not.
Why are you half hot about it?
But I'm not half hot. I'm 3/4 hot.
Okay.
But, yeah, so we're going to watch some of it.
I'm looking forward to this.
What's that?
It's going to be a fun time.
Yeah, fun time. It's going to be a great time. Here, let me get my little puppy. Come here, sweetheart.
Well, we got the link in the description for today's show, but it's on YouTube. Your Hockey Hero. He's got so many great classics over on YouTube. I don't even know that he can monetize his channel simply because he's got so much old footage on there. Maybe he can, but He is clearly a huge wrestling fan, and he's doing it for a labor of love. And I, for one, am looking forward to seeing this one. We've seen a lot of great stuff here as bonus footage before, but this one's got me pumped up, man. I'm ready to take a look at this one.
All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1, play. Okay, by the way, that's a very young Tommy Young in there, the referee. That's the Masked Superstar and Blackjack Mulligan in there. And this is a This is a tag team match.
Okay.
Flair is walking back and forth. You can just see his feet right now.
I see that top left corner. Yep.
So, yeah, I think it's the Masked Superstar and Ric Flair against, there's Dick Murdoch and Blackjack Mulligan. So Murdoch had come in just a few times. And basically what they would do is they would do the same thing at all the major cities, all the major parts of the territory. In other words, they would build up to a cage match, right? They would have a tag team match, or they would have a 6-man match. And Flair would come in when they had the advantage and get the heat. But when Blackjack would make a comeback, Flair would take a powder. So he didn't get to see what you wanted to see, right? Blackjack get his hands on Flair and then of course they would build it up to finally they would wrestle each other. So, Bill Eadie this is, again, for you fans who don't realize this, in the Masked Superstar, Bill Eadie is Axe of Demolition. So it's a 6-man. There's Harley Race and Wahoo McDaniel. How about that?
Oh, man, there's a lot of stars in here.
Yeah, so this could very well be the Greensboro Coliseum, and this could very well be me in the stands there. I'm not sure. But, yeah, you're talking about Flair teaming with Harley and Flair feeding, and the Masked Superstar all a part of it. That's right. He was Axe, right? Not Smash of Demolition. Bill Eadie was, right?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
What a fun time this is for JCP. I mean, there's so much star power just in this single match. If you had to guess, I mean, just based on the way everyone looks, what year is this from?
78, I would think.
When I took a look on Cage Match, and I'm not pretending that they have all the records, the first match I see with Blackjack and Ric Flair in the ring together was April 5th, 1975 at the Hampton Roads Coliseum in Hampton, Virginia. It was Rufus R. Jones and Swede Hansen picking up a win over Blackjack Mulligan and Ric Flair by DQ.
Right.
Oh, there's the look at the crowd pop. There's the finish. Let's track it just a little bit. Do you recognize that building?
I think it's the Greensboro Coliseum, to be honest with you.
Wow.
Now here's Blackjack and Andre the Giant against Ric Flair, and I'm not so sure who he's teamed with, but Blackjack wants Flair in the ring, and you see how Flair is, not wanting to get in the ring with Blackjack. I think that's Ken. Yeah, it's Ken Patera, who is Ric
his
Flair's
old roommate.
Wow. How about this? And Flair like begging off Blackjack. Look at this. And then he tags out. And you would go, fuck it, motherfucker. He doesn't want to get in there with Blackjack.
Here's the deal, man. As a kid, we all loved eating cereal. But then we grow up and we realize I need protein in the morning, not sugar. But what if there was a way to have that same great, nostalgically delicious cereal, but it's filled with protein and not sugar? Magic Spoon has made it a reality. You see, every serving of Magic Spoon cereal has 13 grams of protein, 0 grams of sugar, and 4 grams of net carbs, so you can feel good about what you're eating. The most popular flavors are fruity and cocoa, but there's so many more. And Magic Spoon's brand new treats are crispy, crunchy, airy, and an easy way to get 12 grams of protein on the go. And for the first time ever, Magic Spoon treats are available in grocery stores with delicious flavors like marshmallow and chocolatey peanut butter. Personally, I like the double chocolate. Yeah, Roll Tide. Get $5 off your next order at magicspoon.com/WHW or look for Magic Spoon on Amazon or in your nearest grocery store. That's magicspoon.com/WHW for $5 off. Magic Spoon. Hold on to the dream.
But Patera gets in, and of course, then Patera does all the selling. Ric Flair would take the tag in. God, I know this so well. Rick would take the tag in only when Blackjack was down, right? And then he would hammer Blackjack and he'd run.
I just found this match, Tony. This match went down on September 23rd, 1978 at the Charlotte Coliseum in Charlotte, North Carolina. Andre the Giant and Blackjack Mulligan are going to pick up a win here over Ken Patera and Ric Flair. So what we're watching right here is indeed from 1978, you some bitch.
Yeah. Look at Flair stomp the head of Blackjack and then run. Flair's going to do a double axe handle from behind the referee and run.
The match we just watched, you were correct. It was June 18th, 1978 from the Greensboro Coliseum in Greensboro, North Carolina.
And I bet you anything I was there.
How fun is that, dude? That we're watching now on this old 8mm film matches you were in the building for as a kid.
Isn't it something?
God damn, I love wrestling.
I do too. And you know what? You say this is Charlotte, and now I recognize the little wall that's behind.
It's pretty distinctive, isn't it?
Yeah, right. It is. And by the way, AEW is going to be there first weekend in January. I believe it's January 4th. We're going to be what is now the Bojangles Coliseum. This is Stu Schwartz, the referee. Even knew the referees back then. Patera's got that full Nelson on Blackjack. Look at Flair. Look at Flair. Slap at him and fucking Rick. Listen, we all know. Look at this. We all know how much of a knucklehead he is, but boy, he knew how to play the heel, didn't he? Gee whiz. And who is that giving chase on the outside? There was a wrestler on the outside. Oh, was that Andre? I guess it was Andre.
Yeah.
Okay. I couldn't even see. It was almost like a silhouette.
The only way you could tell is that damn afro.
That's right. Now Flair comes in because Blackjack's almost down. So, but if Blackjack mounts the comeback, I have a feeling Rick's going to powder. Flair was a great heel.
One of the best.
Yeah. Here comes that knee drop on the head. No, the elbow. Thought he measured him for the knee. Now Patera back in when Blackjack is getting up. This is how you made an angle, man. You had the chicken shit heel, get his punches in, but never get the all right, here he comes in, Blackjack down again. Just to tell you how the angle went, from my memory, Blackjack and Ric Flair were two great heels that actually. There's the 1, 2, 3. Did Blackjack get the win?
Looks like it.
Oh wow. Okay.
Blackjack just pinned Ric Flair.
All right. So they were the badass heels, so to speak, and they travel together all the time in the quote unquote van. They had a disagreement, and it came because Blackjack would come out and do promos, and Flair would interrupt him. I hope the video on this gets better, because right now we're seeing a cage match, Flair and Blackjack.
It's pretty blown out.
Yeah, it's very blown out, and so anyway, Flair would come out and interrupt Blackjack, and Blackjack finally had enough. And Blackjack slapped him, or Flair slapped Blackjack. Blackjack came out with a bag of stuff. He said, now that Flair and I are no longer riding around together, there are some things in the van. Here's a bag.
I remember this, yes.
Yeah, there's a bag of things in the van that I think Rick, I should give back to him. He pulled out some stuff, and he finally pulled out a pair of pantyhose. And everybody in the studio popped. He said, what's this about? Why would he have pantyhose or whatever? So
that's so
Flair,
great.
Yeah, so Blackjack had a match in the ring, and Flair was so incensed by it, he came out with Blackjack's hat on. He walked out, Blackjack's hat. Blackjack didn't know what was going on, and Flair destroyed the hat on set while the match was going on. Blackjack rolls out of the ring, and David Crockett or Bob Caudle, somebody says, hey, by the way, Blackjack goes, this is my hat. That's the hat that Willie Nelson gave me. Yes, it's my hat that Willie Nelson gave me. And it's been a part of me, and look what he did, and blah, 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 blah. So later on, Flair's got a match, and Blackjack comes out with a robe on. And Flair sees it, but the wrestler in the ring is holding Flair back to where he can't get the Blackjack, and Blackjack just tears up the robe. And that led to this big angle right here. So it was so well played out, so well done. I guess it was a George Scott angle, maybe, or George Scott was booking at that time. I know I've heard that George let those guys do their own angles a lot of times, and he just booked it. But it was great. It was an unforgettable moment in me being a fan, because then I found out Ric Flair's on one side, Blackjack's on the other on a 6-man tag. Let's go see it. And we would go to the Greensboro Coliseum, and Flair would do the things that we saw earlier, like hit him in the face when he wasn't looking or whatever, but he would take a powder when Blackjack would muscle up or bulk up or whatever. And that was great. It was real well done. Hey, Buck, you need to be good to this girl. This is my girl. Bucky needs a bath. My new beagle needs a bath.
Have you not bathed their ass yet? What's wrong with you?
Well, he's only been here 2 days.
Oh, okay. I got you. You ain't got to get hot about it.
Yeah, I'm getting hot about it. Look at this. This is, I'm trying to think of where this was in a cage. It could have been.
Oh, you know what? Let me see if I can find that one.
In the territory. I'm trying to. Is that Tommy Young, the referee? It's really hard to see because I don't think it's Tommy Young. That may be. I don't know who that is, dude.
Okay. This looks like, I guess we won't know until, well, either way. They wrestled a few different cage matches. I'll let you guess.
It looks like Charlotte again. You see the wall?
Yep, there it is. Okay. So they're in the Charlotte Coliseum. So this is either December 25th, a Christmas Day show, 1978.
Wow.
Or, yeah, I think that's it. That's the only.
Flair got the win. Yeah, this is and it was a Charlotte Coliseum. All right. Here we go. Much better footage for us here. Stu Swartz, the referee.
Oh, much better. My gosh.
Yeah. Flair and Blackjack. Obviously, they had someone on the camera didn't know what he was doing.
That was a Christmas Day show we just watched, Tony.
Is that something?
Man, I mean, with us recording just a few days before Christmas, that's pretty fun.
Yeah. Christmas obviously was a big time.
Yeah.
Thanksgiving was the biggest time. Christmas and New Year's they worked all of them.
Is there a logo on those turnbuckles? It looks like it.
Yeah, the NWA logo.
I see. I don't remember ever seeing that.
Yeah, to me that tells me this is the Charlotte Coliseum. I mean, this is the Greensboro Coliseum. And the reason I say that is that Greensboro always had the logos on the turnbuckles.
Okay. But
or it's a Wally Dusick ring. You know, the great Wally Dusick, ran the ring crews back then, and his ring was used a couple different places. There's the Flair knee across the top of the head. That's vintage Ric Flair, man.
See, to me, that feels like a Harley thing that he picked up. You don't think he borrowed that from Harley?
Oh, yeah. I think there's no question he did that. Yeah.
There's a chance this is a lights out match at the Greensboro Coliseum on October 21st, 1978.
Okay. I went to the Greensboro Coliseum, ran every month, basically. And I went to them all. I went in this era, I went to every one that was in Greensboro.
How far of a drive was that from you, the Coliseum to your home?
3 hours, 3.5 maybe.
Oh, wow. You were committed.
Yeah. I don't know if I've told you the story or not. I think I did. I was in college at this time, and I would borrow Mom's car when I would go home on the weekends or something and drive down there. And if it was unavailable to take mom's car, I would take the bus. I'd take the Greyhound from college in Harrisonburg, Virginia to Greensboro. And hey, it's longer than 3 hours in a Greyhound bus. Because they would stop at different towns, right? And pick up people. And so, yeah, I took the Greyhound a couple of times. Met this family. And this family had a very young girl who was such a big wrestling fan. And her uncle and her mom all would go to the wrestling matches, and she was there, and we are still friends to this day. She's in her 50s right now, and we're still Facebook friends. How about that?
That is cool.
Isn't that cool? It's just really, really cool. It was a great time. It was an unforgettable time.
Unforgettable time.
There's a couple of interviews that High Spots put on their wrestling network that have Ric Flair talking about, and Blackjack Mulligan talking about the angle with Ric Flair.
It's good stuff too, man.
Yeah, it is. Now they go back and they're back so far that the camera can't pick it up because they didn't need to light it, right? There's Wally Dusek standing up. There's old Wally with that tan coat. He stood up. Now he's going to sit down. I noticed Trucking Tom Miller was the ring announcer here. So there you go. See if you can track the audio here. See if we can pick up.
Boy, they're just loud. They're in.
Yeah, they are. Flair trying to run away. Blackjack picks him up over his shoulders and carries him back to the ring. There's Tom Miller standing up. Wally Dusek. I don't know who the other gentleman is, but I recognize those. And now the most famous hold in wrestling, one that really hurts him, Conrad, the claw.
Why do you love the claw so much?
Because Blackjack used it. It's part of my fandom, dude.
I get that. I get that.
Yeah, right. People who were big Ric Flair fans growing up love the figure four. You know what's amazing? I guess not amazing. I guess it's just part of wrestling. Regardless of where we are, if someone puts on a figure four, fans will go, woo. You notice that?
I do.
Yep. It's I can't remember what match it was, but these two wrestlers got tied up and it looked like maybe Indian Deathlock, and then it looked like they turned into the figure four. As soon as they turned into the figure four, fans went, woo!
Yeah.
I'm thinking, wow. Yeah, this is lights out. Flair's got a chair. Just hammering Blackjack. You know, and it's kind of like our other bonus match was, holy shit, there's a fan. A fan was standing right out there, and the police had to move him back. That's serious heat right here. Not only that, there's only that rope that's keeping the fans away from the ring. Wow. I was going to say something about this era, and I forgot. So, Flair's being accosted by fans now. I don't know if you see that or not, but a fan grabbed him, and the police are over there. People are running over there.
do you think's happening here, Tony?
I don't know. Well, I think the police have gone to get the fans off of Ric Flair. Or maybe the match is over and Flair just ran away.
Yeah, I think that's probably a count out right there.
Yeah.
So let me see. Okay. Yeah, I think that was October 13th, 1978 for it to be a count out finish.
Okay. Wow, this is tremendous. All right, here's Flair and Blackjack one-on-one. Tommy Young is the referee. There's Tom Miller sitting there with Wally Dusek. So this is probably either Charlotte or Greensboro. I don't think it was Raleigh, because Raleigh was the Murniks, and they had their own ring announcer. So I think this was either Charlotte or Greensboro. And I'm not so sure where else Tom Miller did ring announcing. Well, yeah, he was based out of Charlotte. Tom was. He had a big radio show on WBT in Charlotte. It was an overnight show called Truckin' Tom.
Truckin' Tom Miller.
Truckin' Tom Miller, and he the whole show was targeted to truckers coming through Charlotte, or WBT had a big signal and targeted the truckers who were on the road, and they used to call in and talk to him. So I went to work for this radio station, 97.7, I do believe, in Charlotte, and I was doing sports for them. And Truckin' Tom said, "Hey, you think you could put in a word for me to get me back on?" And they put Truckin' Tom on overnight on the FM station. And Tom, that was well known, had an alcohol problem. He said, "I'm clean, everything's fine." So he put Truckin' Tom on, and he revitalized the overnight. And then one night the program director was listening, and the station was just dead. Nothing was going on. So he got in his car and he drove to the station, and Truckin' Tom was passed out in the chair drunk. And they fired him. And that's probably the last radio gig he ever had. Sad.
You really know how to bring us down every now and again, Tony.
I sure do. Sure do. Boy, you're a stinking beagle. Yeah, you stink.
I got to tell you, of all the looks that I've seen in wrestling, I think I might like Blackjack's look the best. The black trunks, the black boots, the Western style boots, those Austin Hall style boots.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's a cool look, man.
Yeah. Had the black hat on his butt was like a horseshoe.
Yeah. When JBL and Barry Windham recreated like the new Blackjacks in the WWF in 97.
Right.
I love that look, man.
Yeah.
I remember there was a video game at the time. I think it was Fire Pro Wrestling or Power Pro Wrestling. It was PlayStation. I created, and even in No Mercy, when that game came out, I created the new Blackjacks because I just thought that look was badass. I don't know why I like it so much either, but
yeah, it was cool.
If
and
Cassio and I could walk around wearing that shit, we would.
I would love for you too.
Wouldn't that be awesome?
Before Blackjack became such a mega star in the Crockett territory, if I'm right here, you can tell me if I'm wrong, but if I'm right, he and Lanza were the Blackjacks in the AWA, and were a big tag team there, big stars there. There was Blackjack Lanza and Blackjack Mulligan. Then he came to the Crockett's, and I remember, how about that? Runs into Tommy Young. I just remember when Blackjack first arrived in the Carolinas, as I call it, or the Mid-Atlantic, he was such big and powerful, and he didn't sell for much. He beat the fuck out of everybody.
Right.
And he got over as a heel big time.
I like that we're getting to watch, we've watched so much stuff that I had strong feelings about, but to get to watch something that you feel the same way I do as a fan, that's pretty cool.
Flair just got the knucks out of his trunks while Tommy Young is checking on Blackjack.
How funny is it that he used the knucks even in his last match?
Yeah.
Just a cheater to the very end.
Yep.
You think you ever eat any pumpkins?
Eat any pumpkins?
Well, I mean, he was a cheater pumpkin eater, right?
Oh, got it. Really good. You know, what's weird is this morning before you and I started recording, I ate a piece of pumpkin pie.
I love you for that. I watched Saturday Night's Main Event last night with Shuli Agar and Cassio Kidd. Megan made a couple of baked potatoes and picked up a lemon icebox pie from a Mennonite bakery that just opened here in Guntersville. And I threw a strip and 3 fillets on the Rec Tech. It was a good night here at the Thompson household. And this morning, while she was doing her posing class, me and the dogs had a McDonald's biscuit and a large Diet Coke with no ice. It's a good day.
Great. Life is great, huh? With the exception of inviting that fucking Shuli to your house.
Well, it's the first time he's been here. I've lived here since April.
Right.
And I actually bought the house in 2021, but never has he ever been to this county, I don't believe. But he's here now, or was, Thankfully, he left.
Yeah.
Hey,
well, not every day you can take a guy who's 2'1" and invite him to your house.
That's right,
Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to ask you, I don't know if you've seen, or maybe you do. I mean, you know everything. I woke up this morning and saw something I didn't expect to see. I guess last night in L.A., Chris Jericho showed up at GCW and attacked Effie after Effie's match with Matt Cardona. Of course, Matt Cardona and Chris Jericho are on a collision course at Hammerstein for the Ring of Honor World title, and you were just there with those guys just a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people had it on their bingo card that Chris Jericho would show up in GCW. What do you make of this news, Tony?
I don't think it's any surprise really, because if you'll recall, he showed up at PWG when he was wrestling for us, and I don't know who that angle was for. It was that Steamboat came out, wasn't it?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
He looks like an action figure too, doesn't he?
Yes, he was an amazing. He looks so good. Flair is juiced to the max. Look at this. Upside down. Saw it coming.
Upside down and inside out.
Blackjack's got the gimmick that Flair had. You see, using it against him.
Oh. Getting punched in the face with brass knuckles is near the top of the list of things I don't want in my life.
Yeah. But it's near the top of the list of things I'd like to get away with.
I've been punched in the face before, but I've never been punched in the face with brass knuckles. I feel like that's something I don't really want to learn about.
Me neither, but aren't there a couple of trolls you would love to just hammer?
Nope. I don't have any hate in my heart like that, Tony. Not one bit.
You don't?
Not one bit.
Really?
No, I don't hate anybody. I couldn't tell you one person I hate. I'm not kidding around. Yeah.
You don't hate anybody. That's good. That's good. I wish I felt that way.
I know. You told me in a loud and clear voice a couple motherfuckers you hate.
Yeah. Blackjack wins the match. So says Tommy Young, and that's probably the Greensboro Coliseum. I would think, because Greensboro had very wide.
If that was lights out, then that may have been October 21st, 1978.
Oh, they're not done, man. Blackjack said, I ain't done. I'm going to beat the fuck out of him. Flair in a pool of blood. Hey, we are going to get an interview. We are going to get Blackjack on the ranch. I see that's coming up next.
Oh yeah, you're scooting ahead.
Yeah, I'm just looking ahead. Flair.
Oh, he sat up like a corpse.
I know he did.
Oh,
they
God.
do it again.
Oh. This is great stuff. He's doing the Undertaker shit before the Undertaker.
All right, you want to track this?
I'm just a second behind you, but here we go.
On the headlock ranch, property that belongs to me, paid for and bought by Jack Mulligan. As far as you can see east, as far as you can see west, north and south belongs to me. They don't no man come on this property. They don't no man come around here unless he's invited. This is my only haven. This is my place. The only place that the National Wrestling Alliance can't mess with me, can't come on my property. And let me tell you something. Anybody ever comes up that road, they better have business, and that business better be mine. I don't know. I've got to get all my head together, and I'm down here on my ranch. I don't know. Maybe I'm too big for wrestling.
Oh.
With all the rules change and all this stuff. You see, this is the way I was raised down here. Undisciplined. When a man's got a problem with another man, he just settles it one-on-one. Best man win. Winner take all. I'm not used to all. Standing on the Headlock Ranch down here now, this property belongs to me. As far as you can see, either way, either direction, there's not anybody supposed to be down here but me and my boys. Spider Grip, my Uncle Reba Joe, and the whole bunch. That means you, Eddie Graham, George Scott, Jimmy Crockett, the whole pack of you. This is my private land. This is my haven. This is my place away from you and the National Wrestling Alliance. You understand what I'm saying? I've come down here to get my head together. I've come down here trying to understand, trying to find out what's going on, why my belt was taken away from me, why the great legend has fallen. I'm gonna tell you something. I found out something. Down here's where the people are. We settle everything our own way, man to man. Not a bunch of running around behind your back going to the president of the National Wrestling Alliance and stuff like this. Down here, winner take all. Any best man win, any way he can. I'm going to be leaving on a world tour very shortly, and I'm going to get my stuff together, and I'm going to find out exactly what I've been doing wrong. And if I find the answer in Hong Kong, if I find it in Russia, no matter where it's at, I'll be coming back. And you can believe what I say, Eddie Graham and George Scott, you're going to have to reckon with me. Because sooner or later, I'm going to be back. I'm going to be back to claim the crown, the championship, the U.S. championship that belongs to me. And once again, whoa, Junior, once again, I'm going to be the champion of all these United States. Because you know, and everybody in this United States knows, that there ain't a man in the world today that can beat me.
On the ranch, Blackjack Mulligan.
The Headlock Ranch.
Yeah, how about that?
If you were going to name your house something, what would you name it? Like wrestling related.
Wrestling related?
Yeah, yeah. This is
okay.
The School of Schiavone. This is Tony Town. This,
right.
I mean, what would you call it? If you're going to name it.
The Tope Dogacita.
Tope Dogacita.
Yeah.
I actually like that. That might be one of your better names.
Thank you. Because everything's about dogs here. So now I go back and start to think, who's this pulling out Ric Flair? Helping Ric Flair out.
That's Baron.
What's that?
Baron von Raschke, isn't it?
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is.
Who would that referee be?
Let me see.
Old timer who dyes his hair.
Oh, that's Stu Schwartz. Yeah, that's who that is. Look at this. I don't think this is a battle royal, is it?
It is now.
Wow, let's see if we can pick out these. It's really hard to pick these out because the quality or lack thereof. I see.
Is this in Charlotte? Because this might be December 3rd, 1978.
Okay.
It was a 24-man. Now, that was a 2-ring battle royal, and that's not what this is. This is one.
Okay. All right, I see Gene Anderson. I see Jimmy Snuka in there.
Okay, this is April 8th, 1979 in Asheville, North Carolina. A young Paul Orndorff is going to be in there somewhere.
Okay, yeah, because Paul Orndorff and Jimmy Snuka were like the big babyface team. There's Paul Jones in there.
Okay, so here's who else here, I think.
Okay.
Paul Orndorff, Baron von Raschke, Blackjack Mulligan, Don Kernoodle, Ernie Ladd, Gene Anderson, Jay Youngblood, Jimmy Snuka, Mr. X #1, Nick DiCarlo, Paul Jones, Ric Flair, Rufus R. Jones, and Skip Young.
Did you say Dick Murdoch?
No, is he out there?
Yeah, there's Dick Murdoch in the T-shirt right in the. He's got his back to us. I think that's Murdoch. I don't know if you see him right now. He's being double teamed.
Oh, I do see him. Yep, that's definitely Dick Murdoch. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
God damn it! I thought I had it. I was really excited.
Yeah.
I blame you for that.
Yeah.
Wait. Where is Blackjack right now? Top right-hand corner? No, that's not him.
Well, no, that's not him. I don't know where he is.
So maybe he's not in the motherfucker.
Maybe not. I think Pez Watley's in there, to be honest with you, over on the left side here.
Yep.
No, that's not Pez Watley. Shit, that's a guy with a mask on. That would be Mr. X, probably.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Had a Mr. X back then, which was always cool. Man, am I digging this or what? I also was looking on this this YouTube page, Your Hockey Hero. I know we're getting a lot of pub. I hope we don't expose him and people go at him and try to pull down his footage.
Well, if he's not monetized, I think he's okay.
Okay, so anyway, there were some old promos on there.
Yeah.
That David Crockett did. Wait till you see those. Wow. A very, very, very young, there's Blackjack. Very young David Crockett.
We don't see Andre the Giant here, right?
Don't see him, no.
Yeah, so there's Blackjack.
Yeah. Yeah, that, you know what? That was not a battle royal, Conrad. That was just
A brawl.
it was just a brawl.
Yeah, Blackjack got his hand raised.
Yeah.
We're not done though. We see fans clapping, but we still got a few more minutes here. It's like 11 more minutes in this.
Yeah.
Man, I love watching this old stuff, but I do wish that we had a little more context.
Yeah. I wish we had the shows.
I did too, man. You know, like I know that it's never going to happen. You know, you're
they're
working
gone.
with WWE now, but I mean with AEW now, but I love the idea of you being able to, before it's too late, go through some of those tapes and lay down some audio and just add some context. And it would have been such a great use for you. Of course, those nothing happening motherfuckers didn't see the value. I'm glad that Tony Khan did. And,
Yeah.
you're doing well now, but God damn it, that would have been so fun.
Hey, so this is, I believe I saw that right when this first match. Yeah, this is Flair and Blackjack being a team.
Yeah. And they started as a team.
Right, of course. And
This is 79 because they teamed a lot in 79, I think.
okay, so this was after the angle.
Yeah.
So I guess they got back together. I don't know. This is Baron von Raschke that Flair's got the figure 4 on. Against Stu Schwartz is the referee. Blackjack on the left. I'm not so sure Baron's tag team partner is here. I know that for a long time, Baron was a tag team partner with, I almost recognize who that was a tag team partner with Greg Valentine.
Do you think this is Greensboro or Greenville?
Could be Greenville. And you know what? This kind of looks like Paul Jones.
That's what I was going to say. I think this is July 30th, 1979 in Greenville, South Carolina. It's Blackjack and Ric Flair who are going to get a win over Baron von Raschke and Paul Jones in Greenville. Wow. So that's July 30th, 1979.
Yeah, it's Paul Jones. I can just tell the way he's walking around the ring.
Had you met Lois yet by July of 79?
No, I met her in 81.
Oh, okay. Same year I squirted out of my dad's nuts. Actually, I squirted out of my mom's hoo-ha.
Hoo-ha. Well, you did. Yeah, right.
I slid out like I was stealing home plate.
Yeah. Safe.
I bet by the time Lois was done having kids, those motherfuckers just climbed out like Stargate, you know, and just walk right out. Just
exactly right. With like like the Flintstones in a car. Boom, right out.
The visual of the feet, and they just hit the ground running, and the sound effect, bing, 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 the way it's where these.
Here comes another one, Lois. What, child? And look, this one had a hat on, didn't even touch anything.
Oh, it's her escape hatch out of the clown car. They just keep coming. Look at these little Schiavones.
Yeah.
They're fucking everywhere.
Can't stop. What's wrong with us? Don't we know these things cost money?
All you had to do was back up 3 or 4 inches, and all this could have been avoided. Just couldn't do it.
Nope.
Tony is Tony's what they call in Seinfeld a close talker.
Now, hang on one second.
Okay.
I'm not so sure that's Paul Jones now.
Looks like him.
It kind of looks like him, but man, I didn't think Paul was that defined as far as his.
We got to remember this is the 70s.
Right? Yeah. Okay.
You're thinking about mid 80s, Paul.
Yes. You're right.
Like the Baron and Paul, they teamed up a lot against Blackjack and
and then that's
Flair.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry. I made a big mistake. My favorite Baron line.
He says mashtuk.
Yes.
I don't know about this.
So at the Hall of Fame ceremonies in
Waterloo,
Iowa, I told the story. I knew that the Baron was in the crowd, right? And anybody who got to know Baron von Raschke loved him because he was such a great man and such a complete opposite from his character in the ring. And I told the story that when I first met Baron von Raschke, and I had been a fan in the Mid-Atlantic when Baron was this German / Nazi type character and with the claw and everything and with that husky voice. And the first time I met him was we were doing promos backstage, and I saw him in the back walk in. I'm thinking, oh shit, Baron von Raschke's here, right? So I'm doing this thing where he's teaming with like Jimmy Valiant and somebody else. And Jimmy said, let's bring in our secret weapon from Germany. Baron von Raschke walks in, and he said, and that is all the people need to know. And Jackie Crockett goes, 3, 2, 1, you're clear. So we're clear. We're standing there, and Baron turns around, looks at me, and he goes, in a very pleasant, natural voice, goes, Jim Raschke, nice to meet you. And I went, holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. It's Baron. And that got a really good response from the fans. And Baron shouted out something, and I couldn't hear what he said from his table then, but that was one of Tony becoming, moving on from a wrestling fan to being in the business.
Crossing the guardrail.
That was one of the moments, man. Baron von Raschke introducing himself as Jim Raschke in a very nice voice.
Maybe that should be the name of your next book, Crossing the Guardrail.
Crossing the Guardrail. I like that. Yeah, but you know what? I'm not going to write a book. I'm too fucking lazy.
Well, you say you're not going to right now. And with your current workload, I agree and I get it. But one day you'll fucking chill out a little bit and you'll be like, you know what? I just want to get this on the record.
Yep.
I hope so anyway.
Yeah, me too. Who knows? Who knows what my salad days are going to be like?
I mean, who would have even thought we'd be doing what we're doing right now? You know?
Yeah. No one did.
Like this felt like this is going to be a podcast that's going to go a year and pay for a wedding. And then Tony's going to tell me to fuck off. And little did we know you get back into MLW and StarCast and All In would happen. And then WWE would tease bringing back Starrcade and we'd do a stupid Starrcade Control Center.
Uh-huh.
And Tony Schiavone would all of a sudden wind up on Tony Khan's radar. Mm-hmm. Ta-da! AEW becomes a thing. You attend the first AEW show as a fan and sit in the front row, but by the time they debut on TV a few months later, you're calling the fucking thing. Like your life's a movie, Tony.
You know what? It really is in many ways. I don't know how many people will be interested in the movie, but it is a movie.
I'm just saying that story needs to be told. Like I think you give yourself enough credit for what a big place you hold in our lives as fans, but just how, the real world would love and appreciate you being the ultimate family man. I mean, even now, as we've been recording this morning, you're telling us all about your new dog, and you, the story of Tony Schiavone is got a lot of love to give, and, not many fucks left to give. So let's get those priorities in order.
Absolutely. And life is good. I mean, life is actually great. I wish I was more motivated to do a lot of shit.
Dude, you can't do much more than you are right now, bud. Everything that happens in AEW, you're somehow at the middle of it. If you don't like crossing the guardrail, what if we call it more love than fucks to give? Because that's really the nature of you. Like, you love your dogs, you love your wife, you love your kids,
grandchildren,
you love your grandchildren, you love Tony Khan, you love your local banker, you love Range Rovers. Sometimes you love Dave Silva, not very often, but sometimes.
Yeah. Very rarely. This is Paul Jones with his Indian Deathlock on. And Flair just broke it. Now Baron's going to go after Flair, and this is probably going to be the finish.
You know what I've never seen?
What's that?
Matches like this. I'd love to find this. Blackjack Mulligan teaming with George Scott and Ric Flair. I've never seen a George Scott match. And they take on the Baron Von Raschke, Paul Jones, and Dewey Robertson.
Holy smokes. The missing link before he was the missing link.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be great.
We got to go find that one. That went down September 22nd, 1979.
Yep. Flair and the Blackjack take a powder here. Try to come back in the ring. Two Swords trying to. Here they come again. You know what was another thing that was wonderful about this?
What's that?
They called all this in the ring.
Yeah, they did.
I'm sorry. I know I talk about this a lot, and but man, they didn't go out. They didn't go out before the fans went in and worked out things in the ring.
No, they did not.
They stayed in different locker rooms, and a referee ran between them to talk about some of the things they were going to do. But most of all was called in the ring. Not everybody can do that. And I understand that. I would just like to see sometimes Tony Khan go out and say, guess what? All of you guys are going to call it in the ring. We're not going to open the ring to anybody to work. Not going to work on it in the back. We'll do it old school. This still goes on and still goes on while there it is. There's the end of it. All right, guys, it's time to talk about gun safety. Hey, Tony Schiavone, and needless to say, this is a very important conversation. If you own a handgun for self-defense, your storage likely fits into one of two frustrating categories. It's either locked away, safe, but out of reach in an emergency, or it's unsecured, leaving it vulnerable to anyone in your home. Those are two major problems for protection and for safety. Stopbox USA saw these problems, designed what is without a doubt a groundbreaking solution, the Stopbox Pro. With the Stopbox Pro, you'll never have to choose between security and readiness once again. Its ingenious push-button locking system gives you fast, reliable access when every second matters. It works every time, no power needed. With Stopbox USA, you can finally have both security and readiness because Stopbox Pro mechanical keyless system allows for fast, secure access without the risk of fumbling for keys when every second counts. It's also battery-free, so you'll never have to worry about your lock not working. And traveling with peace of mind is easy because the Stopbox Pro is TSA compliant. You can securely and conveniently transport your firearms through checked baggage airline travel. StubBox also offers a range of innovative products, including their vehicle safe, chamber lock, and other essential gear designed to keep you prepared and protect you wherever you are. And for a limited time only, listeners of What Happened When are getting a crazy deal. Not only getting 10% off your entire order when you use code WHW at StopBoxUSA.com, but StopBox is also giving you a buy one, get one free for their StopBox Pro. Now that's 10% off and a free StopBox Pro when you use code WHW at StopBoxUSA.com. Hey guys, discover a better way, and I mean a better way, to balance security and readiness with StopBox.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? And of course, it's Saturday at 6:05. You know what that means, Tony?
Damn right I do. Here we are together again, talking about all kinds of crazy shit, including, but not limited to, Professional Wrestling Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling 1986.
It's the syndicated show, you sons of a bitch. And we're excited. I can't believe it, but you and I still have the network. We thought it would have been gone by now. Do you have some sort of inside track? Are you a double agent? Were you like Vince Russo when Vince McMahon sent him down to WCW to single-handedly take down his opposition? Is that what you're doing from the inside here, Tony?
I don't know if I believe that rumor or not, but the answer is no. I would never do that unless I was absolutely forced to by gunpoint, at gunpoint. I would never do anything like that. I would never be a fucking double agent, not for them. I know you're buddies with them.
You mean AEW? I thought you liked those guys.
No, I'm talking about WWE, and I'm friends with Bruce Pritchard. Love him to death.
Right.
But that's about the size of it. End of story. Nothing.
They just put Eric in the Hall of Fame. Can you be nice?
What's that?
They just put Eric in the Hall of Fame. Can you be nice?
Oh, no.
That's
to Eric, cool. Yes.
Okay. Well, Tony, we got our shit pulled up here. I mean, if you're like me, you're ready. It's April 12th, 1986. We got a runtime today. It says about 48 minutes. I'm ready to click play whenever you tell us to click play, because I know you've been half-assing these shows, so we don't have special countdowns. So if you just want to like maybe count to 3 in Spanish, we'll all press play and get out of here.
Okay. You ready?
I've been ready.
Tres, dos, uno.
San Antonio.
Play,
San Antonio.
All right now. Jones! Build that on me, baby! Because David Crockett, right here, is the best black athlete in the world! Pistol, Pez, Watley, my brother!
What? What are you doing?
I love David Crockett.
I do too. What are you doing? Just David is the fans. That's what he is. Just like you guys back in 86, if you were watching this and you're a fan, you thought the same thing. What are you doing?
I wasn't, Tony. I was 4. God damn it.
I was talking to the people listening to this show, fucker.
Why are you yelling at me?
Okay. Because you're starting off the show again in one of your shitty, surly moods. Let's go to Bob Cottle.
Wrestling, television's most exciting hour. NWA Pro Wrestling, the very finest professional wrestling. This week, you're going to see during the next hour such outstanding stars as the U.S. Heavyweight Champion Magnum TA. And then gorgeous Jimmy Garvin will be here. Wahoo McDaniel. The world's television champion, Arn Anderson, and his partner, Tully Blanchard, in a tag team match. Also, the Russian Bear, Ivan Koloff, and many more, all during this hour. Speaking of the world's television champion, Arn Anderson, and Arn, I gotta say, you have really defended that championship. You've put it up against everybody, Arn.
Carter, you're exactly right, but do you know the aggravation? Can you hear the aggravation I have to go through in every arena across the country? Every time I walk in the door, to the time I leave, till I stop and have something to eat somewhere, all I hear is the chant, Dusty, 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 you're next. Signs, billboards, you're next. Bob Cottle, is very distracting. On my part, I can't concentrate in the ring. And that cuts down on my performance. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand. I don't want to interrupt you. I want to ask you now about $1 million purse. And, of course, we're talking about the Jim Crockett Senior Memorial Cup. You and your partner.
That's exactly right. we decided, the three of us, Tully Blanchard, myself, and Ric Flair, and James J. Dillon, we all decided that Flair would step aside. He would put an end to Dusty once and for all. Tully and myself are going to win the $1 million simply for the fact we're the best synchronized wrestling team in the tournament. So go ahead and plan on that. But you got guys like Wahoo McDaniels, you got guys at Magnum TA, Dusty Rhodes. Every time one of them come on the scene, Bob Cottle, they immediately want a shot at the World Television title. And the reason being is I am the measuring stick. I'm the measuring stick for toughness. I determine just how good you are in 20 minutes.
And of course, one of them that Ari was talking about is entering the ring now. Let's go to the ring, and here he is, the U.S. champion, Magnum TA. And here's my partner, Johnny Wheeler. Johnny?
Man, how over was Magnum?
Unbelievable. Screaming. You knew when he was coming to the ring. I mean, you knew somebody was in the ring, right? During that promo.
Yep.
Somebody the fans love. I want to mention something here. Did you notice something that Bob said?
I noticed a lot of things he said.
No, really. At the beginning, he welcomed you to NWA Pro Wrestling instead of Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling.
Yep.
So this is the beginning now of the change of the name.
Even though it still says the name.
Even though it still says Mid-Atlantic, which is kind of funky, you would think that.
Boom.
Again.
Belly to belly, and we're done. And thankfully, Nighthawk is on the stick next. I can't wait for this. And then we get Hector, and then we get Pez and Paul Jones. This is going to be a great show, Tony.
Yeah, buddy, I can't wait. Let's see if Nighthawk looks into the camera when he talks to us. But once again, let's take a look at David Dillinger hitting the ropes. Notice the arm whip, whips him into the ropes. Dillinger hits, comes off fast, and then the belly to belly. Boom! Yes, sir. Your winner, Magnum TA. Nighthawk, Bob.
Track it.
Pistol Pez Wadley. Nobody knows what happened to Pistol Pez Wadley, but he really went off. And when he sort of went berserk, he took it out on one of his very best friends, the boogeyman, Jimmy Valiant. Why? We don't know. And Pistol Pez Wadley, up to this point, has not said why. But it was really something to behold, and we want all of you wrestling fans to see what happened. So right now, let's pick it up. Pistol Pez Wadley, Jimmy Valiant.
Right now, all right now, all right now. Jones! Build that on me, baby! Because Davy Crockett, right here, is the best black athlete in the world! Pistol Pez Wadley, my brother!
What? What are you doing? Hey! Pez! I'll tell you, black boy! I'll let you know who black I am!
Fans, what an athlete here with me and a whale of a wrestler, Joe Nighthawk Coltrane. Coltrane, you have been a friend. You've known Pistol Pez Wadley for a long, long time. You've been very close to Pez. What in the world do you think happened to Pez?
Well, I tell you, Bob, I'm not really sure what's going on with Pez right now. I've offered my help, my condolences and everything to Pez, and I'm not very sure what's going on. I'd like to find out myself. This is the last time, Pez, I'd like to tell you to go ahead. You come to me, man. If you need my help, if you need it, you come to me. And Boogie?
People, I don't know what to say. I can't explain the feeling I have inside my body. The hurt that I have. I sit down, I try to think how I can explain this thing that just happened, and there's no explanation. The hurt that I have in my body, I can compare it to if a man would come home
and find his wife in bed with another man.
I mean, I'm telling you, people, my whole life, maybe my heart is too big. I'll give my shirt off my back to a stranger. Maybe I'll let people take advantage of me. I don't know what happened to my brother. And at this point, I'm still calling him a brother. Pistol Pez Watley, if you're sick, brother, if you had a seizure, if it's a mental problem, physical problem, come to me, man. I don't know what it is. I have no all I know, brother, is I give, and I gave to you, and I give to my people. I give to anybody that I see. No, I'm a loving person. And if there's a problem, brother, with yourself, man, I mean, maybe I can help you. I don't know. I just don't know. Hey, cut the camera, brother.
Could Boogeyman get a draw?
Is that the next thing? Can I get a draw?
Norman, boy, they cut Nighthawk, didn't they?
Abruptly, son.
Wow. And Boogeyman, boom. You were ready with that line, right? Find your wife in bed with another man.
That's what he said.
I know that's what he said. And the network had cut it out.
I'm just thinking out loud here. Help me out here. Would you have been all that tore up if you came home and Lois was in bed with another man? I feel like you would have just went to the kitchen, made a sandwich, got in the recliner.
Yeah, that's probably what I would have done. Now I would have probably left the house and I say, I'll leave you two at where you are.
And just drove straight over to Britt Baker's.
And then I look at Lois and say, you need a place to live.
Really? You kick her out for that?
No, I wouldn't kick her out. I ask her, do you need a place to live? Because if you do, I would fund you an apartment. If you'd like that. Or you can live here. Doesn't matter.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm going to go upstairs and hang out with the bug.
And FaceTime Britt Baker?
Yeah, probably. And then I look at the guy and I say,
clean up when you're done?
No, I'd say, good luck to you, my friend.
What does that mean?
Best of luck to you dealing with this. Isn't it amazing?
What?
How your life goes through changes and how you're...
Oh, this all happened?
No, it didn't happen. Just how in your mind. I mean, when I first got married, if someone would have asked me that, I would say, I would have fucking gone nuts. I would have taken that motherfucker. I would have fucking... but now here 40 years later, it's like, just don't interrupt me when I'm watching Netflix or when I'm watching Disney Plus. Have you seen?
Nope. I have Disney Plus, but it's for the children. I'm never watching
Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
No. Is that a cartoon?
No, it's not.
Is that a new graphic novel for buttsandseatscomic.com?
No.
Okay.
It is a Marvel TV show.
Never watch it.
It is an extension of the Avengers.
If you paid me money, I wouldn't watch it.
What's wrong with you, Conrad?
How much money is it, I guess? I got to pay for this plane.
Yeah. I'll give you $1. It's just like WandaVision, just really great.
What is WandaVision?
It was an extension of it was a TV show on Disney Plus.
Like Wanda Sykes, like a comedy?
No. And it ran.
She's funny.
It was an extension of the Avengers and it was just well done. I mean,
what are the Avengers? Oh, like the Toxic Avengers. They've got like the sludge or something. I saw that as a kid.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
Have you heard of the Winter Soldier?
No, but
a couple of these you may have heard of.
I know of the Summer Soldier, and they're great. Kaneka is a Summer Soldier, right? Dad used to make it on the grill.
Good. Have you heard of Vision?
Yeah, I have my vision checked every year. Make sure my prescription is up to date. Megan recently had her vision prescription changed.
All right. Have you, I know I'm finally going to hit a couple. Have you heard of, Hawkeye?
No, but I have heard of Brown Eye and, I'm familiar with their work. I didn't think we talked about that sort of thing here on the show, but yeah, I'm pretty familiar with Brown Eye.
Now I'm going to hit the ones where I think you'll know.
Okay.
Captain America.
Now that rings a bell. Was that Hulk Hogan's gimmick in 2002 where he was like under the American hood
Iron Man.
Yes, that's the Road Warriors theme song. I know that one very well.
All right. Well, there you go. At least you have some sort of, you got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty excited about it too, really.
Yeah, you should be. Meanwhile, Hector Guerrero, let's see the replay of what he hit here. Try and do something different. That's pretty cool, right?
Coming up though, Paul Jones.
Hombre from south of the
I can't.
border.
Hombre. That's funny.
You ready for Paul Jones? Because I am, buddy.
Hard to comprehend these three, Baron Von Raschke, Paul Jones, and Paul right here behind you, Pistol Pez Wadley.
Valiant wonders what happens. Well, I'll tell you, Valiant, I have a superior mind and military strategy, and everything that happened to you was planned. And bro, my army is completed, and I am so happy because it is total foreign. And I have the great Baron von Raschke from Germany, and I have the Barbarian and Tijo Khan, and now I have infiltrated your army, your stable, your backyard. That's right, you said it. The man standing behind me, Pistol Pez Wadley. And Valiant, I heard it, Valiant says, if there's anything wrong with Pistol Pez, he can come to me, brother. Well, let me tell you something, Valiant. There is something wrong with Pistol Pez Wadley, and he is coming to you. And what is wrong with him is you.
Why, Pez? Why?
Well, let me tell you something first, baby. I got the prize. That's right. I got the prize, Jimmy Valiant. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Nighthawk, I don't know who you think you are coming out here talking to me, cheesing in front of all these people, telling them you my brother. Well, let me tell you something. You ain't nothing but Uncle Tom or UT. And from now on, UT is what you is. And I'm going to tell you, Jimmy Valiant, we just now have started. Ain't that right, boss? We just now have started. Let me tell you what, by the time we get through with you, Jimmy Valiant, you'll be a bald head guy. That's right. They'll be looking at you with no hair because this, I say, is the beginning, baby. And we gonna take it to the wire. We gonna be after you, Valiant. Valiant, I know when you're hurt. I know I travel the miles with you, sucker. I know when you get that feeling inside. I know when the Barbarian beat you to death and you couldn't stand it. I know with that little knowledge, all of us, you gonna lose. And from now on, I'm gonna be known as the king of the Zulu chieftain, King Shasta, not Pistol Pez, King Shasta.
To the ring now, fans, in the ring, Wahoo McDaniel, Johnny Wheel.
I love Shaska.
I do too. I do too, man. Love Pez Wadley.
We got another Nighthawk promo coming later today, plus a Wahoo promo, a Ronnie Garvin promo, Arn and Tully are in action. We've also got Dusty Rhodes cutting a promo, Magnum again, and it's hard to be humble when you're Ric Flair. What a promo that's going to be.
Wow.
Have you been watching Dark Side of the Ring Confidential on Vice every Tuesday, Tony?
I'm not.
Thanks for supporting me. Really appreciate it.
I didn't know it was on there. I'm sorry. I didn't know.
Well, I'm the host of the show, so.
Well, I'm going to start watching it, which means it's probably on their, app, right?
Yep.
How long is it?
The shows are about an hour and a half, I think, with commercials.
Okay. I'm looking forward to seeing it because I watched all the Dark Side of the Rings.
Well, what they're doing is like remixes. So,
remixes. So it's nothing new.
Well, there is new. What I'm saying is, I'm talking to the producers of the show, and they're showing they're telling some stories about the production of it, what they found, what was a challenge, what was easy, and just sort of a behind the scenes peek at the production. But then, hey, here's a never before seen clip, or here's an interview we wanted to use, but it didn't make sense in our runtime or whatever.
No, that's cool. I'll start watching. I'm really unplugged by design.
I check the internet for one thing. Well, a couple of things, but I check the internet for the ratings on Wednesdays. The Wednesday ratings. That's all I check it for. And you know what? I'm a much happier person because of it.
Good.
And that's what it's all about at my age, being happy. Being happy with your job, working hard at your job, which I do, and let all the other bullshit float on by. Bob Cottle.
Here we go.
Just saw Wahoo is raring and ready to go in tip-top shape and just looked fantastic during that match and a good quick win. So I'm sure that Jimmy Garvin, the gorgeous...
Well, you can tell when he's just stretching to fill time.
Boy, you're not kidding.
I'm bullshitting and talking very slow because I don't know what's next, folks. But here it is. It's Arn and Tully. They're going to beat up a couple of guys named Vernon Deaton and Gene Ligon.
Did you notice I wanted to mention and did not on that Jimmy Valley or on that Paul Jones interview, how the camera just widened way out?
Yeah.
It's like, wake up. Well, okay.
And another thing.
You know, they had me run camera once.
Really?
Yeah, this was before I started. We had a show. I think it was in Salisbury, North Carolina, maybe. It was in a high school gym, and it's when Angelo Mosca Jr. won the Mid-Atlantic Championship. So that's how, this is probably like 82, maybe. And I didn't do a good job, so they never had me do it again. So
I didn't do a good job.
I didn't. I had a couple of things out of focus and everything. I was running one of the hard cameras. I'll never forget when Angelo Mosca Jr. won the championship and his father celebrated with him. He jumped in his arms and they were hugging, and I tried to zoom into him and it was out of focus. So if you could ever find that footage, that was me running the camera badly. I did some things. You know, I talked about setting up the ring with Klondike, and
what'd you do well back then? Anything?
What's that?
What did you do well when you first got? I'm not saying this to be a dick, but
no, you are saying to be a dick.
No. I'm saying sometimes when you get out of your comfort zone, you are able to push yourself and challenge yourself. Blah blah blah.
Right?
Did you see? Hey, I'm better at this than that. Like when you really tried to step out and do different stuff.
No, I always thought that. Listen, I was put into the position to be a cameraman just because you want to give it a try. And I went, yeah. And I always thought that I could probably become a good one with time. I always back then I looked at a failure as a way to improve.
A teachable moment, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. There was also a moment too. This is another moment. This is a moment I will never forget as long as I live. It has nothing to do with wrestling. Because I worked in Charlotte and was in the stats or whatever. I was hired for one game to be a statistician for college football on TV. And they had a place for me and in the press box to do my stats. Had just a nice place. And then the athletic director of Georgia Tech came in. He was such a prick. You can't sit here. I said, I was told you cannot sit here. You have to. So I had to stand up. Okay. And I completely failed. And the lady on the headphones who was talking to me, I made some mistakes. And then she really pissed me off by saying, can you actually do this job? That's how they talked to you in TV back then.
Oh my God.
And I said, apparently I can't. Fuck you.
Did you really say that?
Yes, I did. I'd had enough. And she didn't ask me again anything on the air or over the headset. And needless to say, they didn't ask me back.
I wonder why not.
I don't know. Because I was pissed off that I was moved out of the way. I had no place to sit, no place to write stats down except in my hand, and they were screaming at me all day. And
Oh, poor little Tony had a rough day. Oh.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, don't talk to me like a piece of shit.
I don't. I never do that.
No, you do that all the time. But them, I take your bullshit because it's profitable.
Yeah.
But them, fuck them. I don't know what that girl's name is, but guess what? Ha ha ha. I'm in TV and she's not.
You don't know what she's doing.
I know what she can do.
What can she do?
Kiss my ass before a washlet.
Oh, pre-washlet kissing.
Yeah. So I don't even know. And I don't even know what, and I was, back when I started doing college football with the Dogs, I was hoping that the athletic director or sports information director was still there, that same guy.
Really?
But he's no longer there. He went out to take a shit in a hog's eating, is what I heard.
What?
Hey, here's Ronnie Garvin.
All right, guys, I got to admit, as a small business owner, I paid my fair share of stupid tax along the way. One of the things I did is I trusted my TV and radio reps who had served me well when it came to buying radio and TV. And then they tried to sell me digital, and I fell for it. And I thought, hey, man, this guy knows all about advertising. He knows what he's doing. It turns out those people who work at the radio stations and TV stations who are trying to sell you digital, and what I mean is Hulu ads, Amazon ads, YouTube ads, maybe SEO, maybe pay-per-click, targeted display. Have you heard any of this before? Of course you have. But the people who are pitching that to you, man, they're just trying to make a commission off of you. They don't know what works and what doesn't work. Besides, they find themselves in your office first to sell you radio or TV. This is just to see if they can squeeze you anymore. What you need is a professional. I mean, listen, if you broke your arm, would you run down to Jiffy Lube for a solution? No. So why would you think that you're going to buy digital from a radio company? Why would you buy internet advertising from a TV company? Go with who you know, like, and trust. And for me, that's Eric Nichols at Envision Marketing Consultants. He helped me with my mortgage company, and he can help you too. And I mean, no matter what you're looking for, B2B, retail, food and beverage, manufacturing, nonprofit, even small business owners. I got a buddy of mine who cleans windows. I got another buddy who's got a restaurant. Man, everybody I know is talking about and bragging about all the great work they're getting from my guys at Envision Marketing Consultants. This is a true endorsement for me, for Eric Nichols, so much so that when you look for Envision Marketing Consultants, check this out, conradsguy.com. And they got this name because so many of my friends would say, hey, call Conrad's Guy. Hey, I wonder what Conrad's Guy's doing. Well, find out for yourself and grow your business with my buddy. You're going to love him. I'm telling you, go out of your way. Check out Eric Nichols at Envision Marketing Consultants. If you're really trying to grow your business, you're really trying to get it to the next level, just use my guy. Go right now to conradsguy.com. That's CONRADSGUY, conradsguy.com. A hog ate him.
Chant, and there's somebody that Ronnie Garvin keeps saying, he wants. We're talking about the Nature Boy, Ric Flair.
Well, I might sound like a broken record, but that's exactly what I want, and every time I wrestle Ric Flair, I feel I'm closer and closer. The other day, this little old lady came to me, and she said, I've been watching wrestling for about 25 years, and I know everything about wrestling. And she says, there's only one thing wrong with you. She says, I know you got Ric Flair's number, but she says, there's one thing wrong with you. And I said, what is that? Because I was dumbfounded when she said there was something wrong with me. She says, the problem why you haven't beaten Ric Flair, she says, is because you don't know how to cheat. Well, I went home and I started thinking about that. This little old lady is right. I don't know how to cheat. Well, I'm going to learn. I've already begun to learn. Ric Flair, you've been hanging on to that title by doing a lot of shady things. Well, I'm going to tell you, maybe that's what it needs to be done, is to cheat. I didn't think about cheating to win the world title. I thought I could go in the ring, and do it fair and square. Well, whatever's got to be done is going to be done. You got to do what you got to do. Another thing on my mind is the James Crockett Senior Memorial Cup.
Fantastic.
Like I said before, I got butterfly in my stomach. We're going for $1 million. And you're talking about 24 teams and teams from different countries. And Magnum TA and I are going to be partners. I'm very flattered to be Magnum's partner because he's a heck of a man. I got a lot of respect for him as an athlete. And I think we're going to be a great combination. I think our chances of taking it are real good. And I sure myself and Magnum would like to keep the trophy here because there's a lot of team from other countries, and we sure would want another team from another country to win this trophy, and we're going to do our best.
Not only the trophy, but the $1 million too. Ronnie Garvin, good luck to you and the Magnum TA.
Thank you.
That was not a great promo.
Now, Ronnie was not good with the cliches. I got butterfly in my stomach.
Well, that's the old Pat Patterson when they went banana. You know, I think when you're ESL and you're French speaking, you don't understand your plurals.
Right.
Which I get. I mean, Cleo still doesn't.
Yeah. I didn't know he was Canadian.
Hey, he's a lot of things you don't know. Hey, as we're talking today.
Yeah.
You know, you sort of kick something around and you said, oh, I should, and I like all that, but let me just mention, you should come over today.
No.
Because if you do, hypothetically, just throwing it out there, we could go ahead and watch the whole Crockett Cup together, provide alternate commentary on it. It'd be a real special event.
People would love it too, wouldn't we?
And they would laugh and sell for us. It'd be great.
I've made plans.
Okay, we'll do it tomorrow. No big deal.
I've made plans for tomorrow too.
We'll do it Monday. No big deal.
I've made plans for Monday.
We'll do it Tuesday.
I go to Jacksonville.
You're not needed. Just show up the day of and say, that's exactly right, JR. That's all they expect from you. The bare minimum.
You are in big prick mode today.
I'm always in big prick mode. It's not my fault.
Yeah, but you're especially edgy today. Big prick edgy. You are preparing for Pondwater Dave to come to your house.
No, I'm preparing for that little son of a bitch Luke to show up.
Okay.
Hey, when was the last time you shaved your dick hair?
So you're close to being, there's the brain buster. You're close to being Conrad at StarCast in Vegas mode.
I'll never be there again.
Woo.
I'll never be there again. Hey,
JJ's back here. He doesn't know where to go.
Well, he never knows where to fucking go. And we told him.
Well, he's back here.
We got it settled, Conrad. Settle the fuck down. JJ doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, okay? We told him 10 minutes ago.
Well, he was just saying he didn't know where to go.
Well, fuck him. And by the way, fuck you. We're bringing him on stage. Little behind scenes stuff here. Yeah. Don't want you in that mood again.
I won't be, because you know why?
Why?
I'm not doing it.
But
here he is.
Coming back and is on his way, and here he is. And with that match in the ring, did it ever prove? He's back, Chief Wahoo McDaniel.
Well, Bob, it's good to be back. I have to say, I guess this is my home. I came back here. I had a lot of unfinished business. Dusty Rhodes asked me to come back here. We had a problem. I'm back. We haven't totally finished this problem and sewed it up yet. But, and another thing I want to talk about, not only Dusty and not only this gorgeous Jimmy Garvin, is, the seed in this big tournament coming up. I don't see how they could seed anybody when you have this many top teams. I have Mark Youngblood for my partner, which at one time he and I were the world's champions. So I cannot see how that we couldn't be seeded in the top 4 or 5 teams ourselves. But I can say one thing honestly, with that many top teams, everybody's got to wrestle somebody. And I don't think being a seed is going to help anybody at all.
No, and I tell you, Wahoo, when you get men of that caliber and wrestlers of that caliber, that bottom seed can beat that top seed. It can happen to anybody.
Well, Bob, the thing is the big money.
That's right.
$1 million, and I guarantee there's going to be everybody doing anything they can to win. And believe me, Mark Youngblood and I are going to be as favored as anybody.
Oh, wait a minute. Precious, my goodness.
Something, and I knew it had to be you. You stick. What in the world have you been eating? My goodness, Wahoo, Yahoo. How are you doing, Yahoo? You sure look like some kind of bogus Indian to me. And I'd say it's about time you showed your face around here, too, I think you're afraid of women. I don't think you know how to treat a real woman, and I'm here to treat you. I'm going to teach you how to treat a woman. Wahoo, what's going on? Did you see what happened to that guy out there? Did you see Gorgeous drop him on his head, Wahoo, huh? Did you see that? That's what's going to happen to you. And you know what? You don't know how to treat. Shut your mouth. Don't be looking at me like that. Don't be looking at me like that.
I'm a dumb man. I'll tell you one thing.
Precious, she really got you upset.
Bob, I want to say one thing. I want to think people to think that I've mellowed and I've cooled my temper a little bit because I've been in a lot of trouble a lot of times. But I'm going to tell you one thing. If Jimmy Garvin doesn't show his face, he's telling everybody he sent me a plane ticket. Well, I don't need the money for a plane ticket. I had some unfinished business. He wants to fight the legend. I don't know whether I'm a legend or not. But I'm going to tell you something, Garvin. Don't send that stinky-nosed little girl to do your work. You come out, fight me, and you'll see what a legend is. And I guarantee you one thing. You're not going to like it at all. And I guarantee you, you're not going anywhere but the ladder but down.
I guarantee you, Ric Flair is going to steal the show. Here we go.
And the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. And Nature Boy, you've been jumping on everybody. Dusty Rhodes, you and the Andersons tried to put him out. Ronnie Garvin. Now, Ricky Morton, one of the Rock and Roll Express. Don't you think you're kind of backing yourself into the corner?
Well, as I've said so many times in the past, Bob Caudle, oh, Lord, how it's hard to be humble. It's hell being the best dressed, the best looking, having the biggest name in the sport, and still being able to walk out here and tell everybody you're the world champion. So naturally, I'm in the public eye. And I'm in the eyes and the minds and the thoughts and the dreams of every wrestler alive. So Dusty Rhodes, Ronnie Garvin, Ricky Morton, let's roll the tape. You see, Ricky Morton has made a mistake, and we're going to show the fans right now just how big a mistake Ricky Morton has made. Woo! You know what? As you know oh so very well, I am probably the finest connoisseur of beautiful women. I'm talking about women with full sweaters, the big girls. So one of my big girls the other day asked me to give you this. And she said, tell Ricky Morton, if you may, to give this to one of his little teeny boppers. So, how about that, sport? In other words, I like the big girls, and you like the little teeny ones.
You're about a considerate fool. I mean, you come out here, brother, you talk about all the things that you got and what you're going to do. But it wasn't too long ago, Ric Flair, and all these nice people right here stood behind you and made you what you are today. Now, without these people out here, you're nothing, and I'm nothing.
Are you trying to tell me that when your name is Ric Flair and you're the world champion, that you got to have a whole building full of people to carry on? Wherever I go, I don't care if they love me or hate me, because I love myself and I know that I'm the best there is. It doesn't take much of a man to jump on a guy when he's not looking. Now, Ricky Morton, as you can see, hit me when my back was turned, jumped me, put me in the ring, and has done his level best to try and embarrass we know to be the greatest wrestler alive. Well, Ricky Morton, any place, anytime, you'll be mine. You understand? Because I am Ric Flair, and I don't care if it's Dusty Rhodes, Ronnie Garvin. Right now, I got Ricky Morton on my mind.
World champion, Nature Boy Ric Flair. All right, fans, and here we go to the ring as Paul Jones
You know, when I see that, of course, we've seen it on, we've seen it before. If you follow our podcast on World Championship Wrestling, I can't get over how Flair took that bump on that slap.
That's unbelievable.
Because that had to hurt, man.
Had to.
Yeah, because he just took his own feet out from underneath him and hit hard with his back on that concrete floor of the studio. Man, just... And as Ricky Morton once told me, that is why Ric Flair is the heavyweight champion of the world. I've told you that story. It's just a great story. He's just the heavyweight champion of the world. He was the heavyweight champion of the world because he just fucking knew, man. It just came natural to him. And it did. You know, we talk of there's so much more to Ric Flair, and I know you know this, and probably fans realize this, but there was so much more to Ric Flair than knowing how to perform in the ring.
Yeah.
It's just the psychology of the night. He changed his psychology based on the card sometimes, based on how the fans were reacting leading up to his match. He knew what was going on that night. He was just... I'm just not so, well, look at that fucking Italian fucking stallion. I just, I don't know if there'll ever be anybody like him, really. And we give him shit. I know he's in your family, and I love to give him shit. But when you think about just knowing the business, there was nobody like him. I don't know if there'll ever be anybody like him.
Let's get him to do the podcast.
Flair?
Yeah.
Will he show?
Yeah, I think we should do it in person.
Go to his house?
Yeah.
Really?
Or have him come to your house.
No.
You don't live far away.
We live 40 minutes away.
That's not bad.
Nah.
I mean, I'm 3.5 hours away from you.
Yeah, I can make it in 3.
I like that you'd rather do that than go to his house.
There they go. Paul Jones's army, buddy. They're not done. Going to go outside. Paul's going to post him. No, Paul with the riding crop. Oh, in the midsection. Oh, hit him again. Oh, this motherfucker. Those not done, man. I thought the match was over. It is over. Now here comes fucking Meathead. That's what we call him, Stallion Meathead.
Stallion Meathead?
Italian style, we called him Meathead.
Speaking of meatheads, we got Coltrane coming up next. He's going to address Shaska Watley again. Mm-hmm. And then we got Dusty Rhodes. And then we're going to finish with Magnum TA. And we got a Rocky King Ivan Koloff match to hold us over.
Can't wait. Look at that Paul Jones.
You know what I want to do?
What?
With you one day? I want to feed you
with the riding crop.
I want to feed you some vodka and make you watch a Jamie Dundee shoot.
I don't drink anymore, Conrad.
Okay.
Done.
Yeah, even a Moscow Mule?
Yeah, no. Here we go. Let's go to...
Well, we heard from Pez. What do you think now about Pez Watley?
Well, I tell you about Pez Watley. You can put a big was on the front of that brother stuff, you know. I take a lot of my time. I've been going by the guy's house. I've called him dozens and dozens of times. No answer. I want to know what's going on with him. I can't figure it out. Not at all. You know, then I got to come out here. I got to see him with the likes of Paul Jones, Baron Von Raschke, and any of them. It don't really matter. But I had to listen to this, and now I got to see it, you know. I got something to say to you, Pez Watley. You go around, you calling me Uncle Tom, you're going to call me all those names. Where I come from, a man calls another man a name, it's just no good at all, you know. Names don't win battles. You know, I tell you what, Pez, anytime, any place, it don't really matter to me. I'll take it. You know, I'll take him, I'll take Jones. It don't matter. We don't even need the ring. You know, we can go outside in the backwoods. We don't need any witnesses. No fans, no nothing. And speaking of fans, these are some of the greatest fans in the world. And they got to sit back and they got to watch this. They got to watch this tide. They got to watch it turn. Well, it's turned now, and we see with our eyes just like the fans are seeing now. You know, we don't like none of it. I tell you, Bob, that's the way I feel about it.
Well, you know, Nighthawk, not only have you got to worry about Pez now, but there's Paul Jones and that whole group he's got. Von Raschke, Khan, and the Barbarian. It goes on and on with Paul Jones.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I know about I've sat back and I've watched Von Raschke. I've watched doggone whatever his name is, that Barbarian, whatever his name. Yeah, T.J. Khan, I ain't never seen nothing like it, you know. But I tell you what, those guys, they don't mean nothing to me. They don't mean nothing. When you get in that square circle out there, that's it. You know, that's where it's won, and that's where it's going to be won, you know.
Well, I tell you, you've got the ability, you've got the body, you've got the muscle and all, and the know-how. We want to wish you good luck, Nighthawk.
Thank you much, Bob.
The American Dream, Dusty Rhodes fans, Baby Doll. Dusty, a lot coming down, man.
Me and Baby Doll be sitting in the back watching all the excitement, you understand? You know what? Eastern Airlines is Dusty Rhodes' private coach throughout this country. Baby Doll, the most beautiful woman in professional wrestling, bar none. Iron Anderson, Tully Blanchard, Ric Flair, James J. Dillon, Ole Anderson, Dusty Rhodes, they all tied together. One common bond is to take the dream out. As long as I can walk, breathe, talk, whatever I need to do, you ain't taking the dream out. You ain't hurting, Baby Doll. You ain't putting your hands on my lady. And you know what? I am a little bit sick now. That pistol Pez Wally. Let me tell you something, boy. Don't you even dare. Don't you even one time come out and talk about Boogie Woogie Man Jimmy Valiant. And for sure, don't put me in the category as boy. You don't want to even start nothing with Dusty Rhodes, the American Dream. And Paul Jones, you built your army. You keep them to the south. Boogie gonna take care of business. Pez Wally, Uncle Tom, me as long as you want. I grew up with Uncle Tom, Daddy. Every day, every night, for all my life. In the gutters on the streets of Austin, Texas. Don't you Uncle Tom me. Nighthawk or nobody. You heard what I got to say about it. You better remember. And Tully Blanchard, the national heavyweight champion. Iron Anderson, Baby Doll got one request. Break your jaw.
Okay, fans, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes, Baby Doll, to the ring now.
Well, didn't see that coming.
No, we did not. But how much you think that was worth Eastern Airlines for him to mention them?
Yeah. And Skull.
Yeah. He's worn that combination before. Skull jacket, Eastern Airlines shirt.
It's his go-to.
Yeah. I'm just surprised he gave him a verbal plug. What the fuck happened there? That was Jackie's camera too. But do we edit that out? No.
Why would you?
Yeah, because we didn't have editing facilities.
Just so you know, since we've been recording today, Dirk Manning has done 2 more Zooms and live podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Buddy, get the word out, right? You that should resonate with you.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm putting it over every chance I get.
Yeah. Dirk's, it's been a great combination. Dirk and Doc Hawkins, Mike Dawkins, Hawk and Dawkins, and Drina Joe and Dave Silva and all the people at Source Point. Great combination. I was very fortunate. And I think it's been announced that you're a part of that, right?
Am I?
Yeah. Wasn't it announced recently that you write a forward for it, or?
Oh yeah. You did announce that. And I think you spelled it FORWARD. You forgot the E, but that's okay. In that same post, you also forgot comic in the URL, buttsandseatscomic.com. You should just leave it to Dirk, really.
You know who you're shitting on again, don't you?
You should just let him prop you up. It'd be like when I did a podcast with Ric Flair. You know, he's there.
You know, it was my daughter that sent that out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she did a great job and we love her very much. She listen to any of these shows?
Some.
Yeah. It's more than we could say about Dave Silva. He don't listen to nothing.
No, he doesn't.
Never misses an episode of The Major Figure podcast, though. He listens to Cardona and Myers every week.
Oh, he does?
Oh, big time. Never misses an episode.
There's the Russian sickle, by the way. We are going to finish with a flourish here, hopefully.
A flourish?
With MAGA TA.
MAGA.
I think MAGA is going to do a run in here.
Oh, yeah, we just saw this. Here you go. Let's track it.
You know now that I can handle a chain too. Let's get it done. Let's get it on right now if you want. I don't think you do.
And see you next week. And until then, so long for now.
How about that intensity from Magnum, dude?
How about the fans reacting? We're seeing it again here over the credits. Look at the fans, man. They just
fired up, dude.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and for all its flaws, like that camera right there is not irised up. You just can't deny it's some good action. That fans are going crazy. Look at him. Look at him. Look at him. Good stuff, man. Taylor Britton with video. Didn't do a good job there, Taylor.
Well, you're being just mean to everybody, aren't you?
Just to you.
Okay. Well, Tony, this was fun
It always is, buddy.
Yeah, I appreciate you making the time, and unfortunately, it looks like it's about that time.
It is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. We have nowhere to go except let's bring in Joe Coltrane, Nighthawk, to talk. No, we don't think we are. Maybe next time. We'll see you next time on What Happened When. We come to you on this program, this show, Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling, every Saturday at 6:05, exclusively on
Patreon, patreon.com/WSW Monday, and of course, adfreeshows.com.